Hello, Greg Wilson with Connection Small Business Journal. You can find us online at www.connectionssbj.com. Again, that is www.connectionssbj.com. Right now, our website is actually going through a relaunch. We're relaunching our website. Have a lot of things planned for you, the viewer, for you, those that follow CSBJ, for you that are connected already with Greg Wilson and Connection Small Business Journal. Have a lot of things planned for you for the year of 2016. So I encourage you, if you have not connected with us, if you have not connected with us online, even utilizing social media, do so. Our Facebook page specifically, facebook.com/connectionssbj. And up next, we have tips for preparing your business for 2016. Stay tuned. What are you doing to prepare yourself for the new year? Here at Connection Small Business Journal, one thing that I try to encourage business owners to do is to prepare for the next stage in their business. Prepare for your new business strategy. Prepare for your new marketing plan. Prepare for your new social media strategy. Whatever decision that we make that will come down the line for us to prepare for that. And in preparation, one thing that I try to do, I try to prepare about 90 days out. But here we are, we honestly are a heck of a lot closer to the new year than 90 days. I mean, we've been very busy this year with CSBJ, with our power hours, with our engaged events, with getting papers out and that sort of thing. We've been very busy. And if you followed us this year, you know already some of the things that we put in place that already, if you've utilized those tips, if you've followed the articles that were written, if you've come to the networking events and have done your own individual due diligence, then quite honestly, you should be already prepared for the new year. But today we just feel it necessary to talk about a few things, and I want to write some few things down here on the board that I truly believe will help us prepare ourselves for 2016. And here we are. Of course, we're less than 30 days away from a new year, but I truly believe that with the time that we have left, the time that is allotted for us, the tips that we're going to share with you today, quite honestly, can be done within a 10 or 15 day window and definitely can be implemented before the beginning of new year. And you'll see across the very top of the board here, hashtag CSBJ. So again, if you want to follow us online, maybe you've never connected with us before, go to our Facebook page. Our Facebook page, again, as we mentioned earlier during the introduction, facebook.com/connectionssbj. And if you like this, if you share it, then feel free even to share utilizing the hashtag CSBJ, and I would greatly appreciate it. And also, if you want to connect with me directly, Greg Wilson via Facebook, telephone number directly 706-289-7863. We'll do what we can to help you and support you in your business. So one of the things that the very first thing that I want to talk about going forward into 2016 is that as a business owner, I was taught a long time ago that data drives decisions. Data drives decisions. Okay, so as a small business owner, you've heard me say this before, and you'll continue to hear me talk about it. That data should drive every decision that you and I make as business owners. So as the very first thing I want us to take a look at is taking a intimate look at our data. Now, as a business owner, how in the world do we do that? How do we take an intimate look at our business? And I want to share this with you. We've all heard of it, but the very first thing that I would encourage a small business owner to do, to sit down, take an all day or half a day, but this must be done for you to find out where you are and what needs to take place for the new year. Okay, and that number one thing would be this. We've all heard it. We've all seen it. A SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis, and the way that you would actually draw this out. I like to draw on a sheet of paper, draw a huge plus sign, and by default, the plus is broken up into 4 sections or 4 quadrants, and you would label these quadrants per the acronym that we just wrote down. Okay, so in one quadrant would be your S, W, O, and T. So S, W, O, T. Your S would be your strengths. What is it that you are good at? I mean, what is it that your business does well already? Whatever that is, you would list those things. You would list those things here in the strength column. Sometimes as business owners and entrepreneurs, we don't think, or we don't like to feel that we have weaknesses, but we do. And the W is for weaknesses. So what area of your business is weak? Is your budget weak? Your operational budget weak? Your small business, the plan that you have, your marketing strategy, your social media strategy, your website? What areas in your business are weak? And you would need to list those out. The O is opportunities. What opportunities do you see in your business? And well, I'll come back to that, because I definitely want to talk a little bit more about the weakness and the opportunities. And the T are threats. So list your threats. Some people feel that competition is a threat. Some people feel that maybe their location, if you will, that their business is based in is a threat. Others feel that something else is completely a threat. All right, so having said that, write down all the things that you as a small business owner consider a threat. All right, so again, a SWOT analysis. All right, so this is something that I label, or I recommend to be the number one thing that we do prior to going into a new year, prior to even launching maybe a new product or a new service. Let's take a look at a SWOT analysis. The data, again, the data is only good as the individual that's reporting it. The data is only good as the system, if you will, that's reporting the data. So since you as a small business owner have to sit down, well, guess what? You are, in a sense, that system. So look down, look at, and be honest, be completely honest with your strengths. Be completely honest with your weaknesses. Be completely honest and brutally honest with your areas of opportunity, and be honest even with your threats. So having said that, I mentioned this word systems. In order for you to find out what your strengths are, I encourage you to have systems that are already in place. If you don't have these systems in place that automate tracking of reports, or automatically track income coming in and income going out, or expenses going out, I encourage you to do that. If you don't have it already this far in the ball game, in preparation for the new year, we'll label that as an opportunity, a weakness and an opportunity. And I would encourage you to look at some systems that you can actually implement in your own individual business, to track the data, to track and be able to run those reports. All right. But if you do not have that, then it's absolutely critical that you, as a small business owner, as you take this intimate look in your own individual business, that you are completely honest with yourself. All right. We've heard people say, you could fool, someone over here and fool someone over there, but you can't fool that guy right there in the mirror. So I want to encourage you to be completely honest as you do this SWOT analysis. All right. So I mentioned to you that I wanted to go back over a couple things, and the things that I want to go back over specifically are weaknesses and opportunities. I feel that these two are harmonious. They go hand in hand. People look at weaknesses and automatically, in some cases, I've seen people take a look at their weaknesses. They wrote everything down. They wrote out a list of, I'm weak in this area. My business is weak in that area. And they go to despair. But those weaknesses, quite honestly, are opportunities for you to change. Opportunities for you as an individual to change, for you as a business owner to change, for you to take a look at if for example, you have a weak social media strategy. Well, guess what? That is an opportunity, if I've never seen one, for you to do something about that weakness. All right. So opportunities are areas where you can improve in. So take your weaknesses and find out ways for you to convert these weaknesses and make sure that they are opportunities for for this weakness. Going through the process of an opportunity can become a strength. All right. And of course, take a look at your threats and list those things out as well. Competition is one of the biggest, is actually the first threat that people say. I was in a meeting the other day and we were talking about, preparing our businesses for 2016. And, I said, hey, what is a threat? And someone, yelled out competition. Well, believe it or not, cash flow is a bigger threat. The lack of cash flow coming into your business is a bigger threat. But write that down, take a look at it. And then once you have this SWOT analysis in place, you'll definitely be able to make better decisions going into 2016. Okay, so number two, we've written down already for us operational budget. Now, the very first thing that we discuss is developing and writing out and being brutally honest with yourself and brutally honest about your business or the state of your business is a SWOT analysis. That was the number one thing that we want to do in preparation for the new year. But the second thing that we want to do, which is also very important, these three things that we're going to discuss today, the very next thing that again is equally important, number two, is knowing or having an operational budget. So we've already written down op budget or operational budget. Very important for you as a small business owner to identify and to know what is your operational budget. Now, once we've done that, once we've come up with a number, whatever that number is, let's say that to operate your business and in operating your business are a lot of expenses, yes, your rent, your lease, maybe you are fortunate enough to be able to save on rent and save on a lease by having your office at home. All right. But either way it goes, and in that case, you have a mortgage note, or guess what? I mean, you haven't quite escaped. All right. So mortgage, whatever that operational budget is, of course, and with that comes utilities. If you are more than just a solopreneur, you have a staff, you have employees, whether it be a virtual assistant, and you're paying someone online to assist you in your business. So I'm just going to write staff. All of these things that we're writing down now fall under that operational budget. I just write plans or strategies. So the plans, the strategies, when I say plans, meaning your business plan, your marketing plan, strategies, your social media strategy, your marketing strategy, all right, those costs, all right, so if you want those professionally done, those definitely cost and will fall under your operational budget. I mean, whatever else, I'll just write miscellaneous. All right, man. We don't necessarily have all day, but just write down whatever expense it takes for you to operate your budget. You may say, you know what, I want to take a break. I want to go to Florida for the weekend. I want to go to Mexico on vacation. Well, guess what? That also falls under your operational budget, meaning that whatever that number is, let's just say it's $3,000 a month. Let's say your operational budget is $3,000 a month. You as a small business owner must know that nugget. That would be what I would label as your business nugget. All right. You have to hit the nugget in order for the business to sustain itself, in order for the business to be successful, in order for the business to grow and not end up in the red. We don't necessarily want to be in the red at the end of the year. We want to be in the black. We want to make the green, right? All right. So whatever that number is, that is a nugget that the business must hit each and every month, whatever that number is. And for some people, it's high. Some people may feel that $3,000 a month is a lot. Well, for some it is. All right, but some business operational budget are $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. I've seen it. All right, so having said that, whatever that nugget is, your business must be able to hit that each and every month. Now, just as much as it is important for you as an individual to have a budget for your household, a budget for your family, whether you be a single mother or a single father or a husband and wife combination, or some type of union that's staying under one roof, a budget is still necessary, no matter the situation. All right. But having said that, once you have determined what your operational budget is, then we could, again, as I mentioned earlier, before we talked about step one, data-based decisions, data-driven decisions. All right. So once I have a number in my head, or a number written down that my business must hit each and every month, I then could say, you know what, I am able to cut expenses. You know, maybe some of the things that we have down here, I'm just going to write a bunch of pluses under the miscellaneous, and the pluses could be some expenses that we didn't necessarily mention by default. All right, so once I have this number in mind, all right, whatever that number is, once I have that number in mind, I then can say, you know what, I can add or take away from this operational budget. I could help my business out by taking one of these pluses and removing them from the equation. All right. So if let's say for example, you've noticed that in your business that you spend, I don't know, $1,000 a month on let's say you're a mobile phone bill, mobile phone and data. Let's say it's $1,000 a month. All right. So again, the target every month is $3,000 a month, right? How can we help the business reach that $3,000 a month target? And I'm telling you that one of the things that we can do, once you have an operational budget, you can see where there are areas to decrease and areas to increase. Now, having said decrease, I must warn you, please don't make the mistake that I did years ago. The very first thing that I said, you know what, I have to cut back on. Why? Because I'm not seeing a result on it, was advertising. Look, I'm just going to write advertising. Advertising falls under or should fall under your operational budget. Be very, very careful when deciding to cut your advertising budget. All right. Now, be very careful, but at the same time, you must know also, are you receiving the best ROI, the return on investment? Are you receiving, so the money that you invested in advertising, all right, what has been your ROI? All right. So again, I don't necessarily want to get into that today. I'll save that for another broadcast. But deciding or determining what your ROI is, you know, based on your advertising is very important. You know, advertising, and not just advertising, but the life of a small business owner, period, is not a sprint. You know, some of us are looking for like a microwave type experience or a microwave, you know, type of ROI even on advertising. Well, in some cases, guess what? It does just that. It just, you advertise with the right place or the right company, select the right genre, and boom, it just fires off, and that's good. But trust me, that does not happen each and every time. So advertising is not necessarily a sprint, but it's a marathon. Advertising is a marathon. The life of an entrepreneur, sometimes that idea just blows up and you are immediately successful. But again, the life of an entrepreneur, quite honestly, is not necessarily a sprint, but a marathon. The life of an entrepreneur, the life of a small business owner is a marathon. All right. So number two again is know your operational budget. Know the operational budget that you have set in place. You know, what does it cost you to live and to run your business each and every month? And whatever that number is, you know, here we have $3,000 a month. I just broke this down for a group meeting the other day. You know, and we look at that $3,000 a month, and you know, it'll cost, you know, a Fred Sanford experience. You know, it's the big one coming. Well, take that $3,000 and break it down to what you need to make per day. All right. So here we are, the traditional month, the amount of business days in the month. I believe there are about 20 business days in a month. So if you do the math on this, take 20 days and divide it into that $3,000 figure, and that will give you the nugget or the daily dose of money that you need to make each and every day. And in this case, $150. So if the goal for your business, the operational budget for your business is $3,000 a month, All right. Taking it one day at a time. And if we make $150 a day for 20 days, then I would have made $3,000. Think about that. Think about that. Don't panic by looking at the large nugget, but do everything within your power to ensure that the daily nuggets are met. And if you meet the daily small nuggets, bit by bit, dollar by dollar, inch by inch, then once the month comes and goes, you would have made your operational budget of $3,000. Okay, so we've talked about, writing and developing a SWOT analysis. Yes, being completely honest and brutally honest with yourself, with your business. We talked about that. We talked about identifying our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and even our threats. We've talked about that. The second thing that we talked about today was actually knowing your operational budget, whatever that nugget is, whatever that number is. We've talked about that as it relates to preparation for 2016. But the final piece is probably more personal in nature. And I think the business side of things is good, but there needs to be even some personal attention that we pay to ourselves as we prepare for 2016. And so sharpening your mindset. You may say, well, Greg, you know what? I'm already sharp. I'm already sharp. Well, I would like to think the same of myself, but quite honestly, I want to be around those individuals that keep me sharp. I want to be around those individuals that keep me sharp. If I could just toss a scripture in this, the Bible states that iron sharpeneth iron. So again, I want to be around some other knives, if you will, in the box. I don't want to be around a dull knife or a butter knife, but I definitely want to be in the box with some other sharp knives. Sharpen your mindset. And one of the ways, not only being connected with people, all right. One of the ways, of course, as we've talked about being connected with people. The other thing, quite honestly, you can do in your home. Read. It's I enjoy reading articles. I enjoy reading publications that speak to small business, that speak to myself as an entrepreneur. So read, sharpen your mind, keep, stay on the cutting edge of things. We, as a business owner, technology changes. No longer, yes, I have a publication. Connection Small Business Journal is an actual publication, but a lot of people aren't quite honestly picking up physical paper. They're doing more swiping on their mobile phone, all right? So I could be one of those hard-nosed, I refuse to change kind of guys. Or if I'm sharp, if I am reading and finding out the trends that are taking place in a particular market, I'll know that, hey, at the same time I produce a print publication, I also need to provide a digital publication as well. All right, so read, stay on top of the trends, even for your own individual business. If you are, maybe you are a web developer, all right? Maybe you are a coder by trade. Maybe your business again is writing code or whatnot. You have to stay on top of things, and the way you stay on top of things is doing this thing right here, reading and studying. You're able to keep your mind sharp going into the new year by doing these different things. So being connected with people, that quite honestly falls under networking, and I'll just go ahead and write networking there. Networking is very important for your business. Quite honestly, one of those bullet places that we mentioned, to write down under your strengths, your weaknesses, or your opportunities. One of those, if we're completely honest with ourselves, should be, I'm telling you even right now, without knowing your strengths, without knowing your weaknesses, without knowing your opportunities or threats, one of those things that we should have written down was networking. Why? Because you need to network. Networking is critical for your business. It takes you out of the office, out of the retail store. One of the things that, and we mentioned reading, but one of the books that I want to encourage you to read is The E-Myth by Michael Gerber, The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. I encourage you, if you have not read that book, very easy to read, but wow, you learn so much information in that. And one of the things that he talks about is the majority of businesses fail because people work in their business rather than on their business. They spend each and every day working inside the four walls of their business, whatever that four walls could be, all right, rather than on their business. And one of the ways for you as a business owner to work on your business is by networking. You have to decide, you have to choose which networking opportunity best suits you. And wherever you are, there's a plethora of networking events out there. CSBJ Power Hour, CSBJ Engage are just two networking events, but there's BNI, wherever you are, there are chamber networking events. Networking is number one, it's rapidly growing. And I want to encourage you, if you want to be around people, if you want to keep yourself sharp, if you want to keep your mindset sharp, then you need to network, because networking not only can lead to leads for your business or money for your business, but also being with other business owners definitely keeps your mind sharp. This has been Greg Wilson with Connection Small Business Journal. I encourage you, as always, to visit us online at www.connectionssbj. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/connectionssbj. Send us an email. If you need to send us an email, go to our website. You can contact us, connectionssbj@gmail.com. Call us, give us a call. We'll love to connect with you and support you and your business. God bless.